Hey, I got curious and wanted to know what other people think about living in Sweden. So in today's video, I interviewed someone for the first time here on my YouTube channel. Pay close attention and let me know in the comments down below if you like this format, if you want to see more people on my channel I interview, let me know in the comments down below. I certainly enjoyed interviewing Blessing, who is originally from Tanzania in East Africa, and she now lives in the north of Sweden. I really wanted to know if she is enjoying living in Sweden, and I also wanted to know how she copes with the cold and darkness and winter, and also if she has a social life here in Sweden. If you're interested what she said about it, keep watching. And before we start with the interview, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter and also grab your little ebook to find out if Sweden is the right fit for you. You will find the link down in the description below. Okay, subscribe to my channel and let's get started. So, I will just start with the first question because then through the question we will get to know you. But yeah, welcome Blessing to Living Swedish. I'm very excited to ask you some questions. Let's start with the first question. I have a little notes here. When I look down, it's my notes. So how long have you been living in Sweden and where do you live in Sweden?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Oli, for invite. I'm happy to be one of your collective people that you will be
You're my
talking
first
about.
one.
Yeah, I'm
Premiere.
excited. I'm excited. Thank you. So my name is Blessing Johansson, and I'm from Tanzania. I'm married to a Swedish handsome man. And I'm currently living in Sweden in a small village called Pajala, and it's located in the northern side of Sweden.
Wow. I find that very, very interesting because I obviously live, well, in the middle of Sweden, probably more south of Sweden. And I don't know what it is like to live in the north of Sweden. And it is quite different, I think, especially like with temperatures and like seasons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So before we go more into that, I also wanted to ask you, well, where did you move from and why did you move to Sweden? I mean, we heard you're from Tanzania, so I guess that's where you moved from.
Yes. Apart from that, actually, Tanzania is where I come from. It's my homeland or my motherland, I might say. But growing up from a teenage age, I have been a little nomad who turned into a grown-up nomad. So I grew up outside Tanzania because my life was nurtured by a German family. So my life was just moving around Africa and Europe. And I started in England and lived there for quite some times. So my teenage life was in between of Germany and England.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
then
I didn't know
later, after school, I think on my second year university, I moved to Malaysia. And that's where I graduated my university, and a part of me of adulthood was in the Asia.
Wow, so you actually know a little bit about what it is like to live in different countries. That's really cool. Like, how would you
Yes.
describe Germany in one or two words? What was the experience living in Germany? Just because I'm from Germany, so I'm curious.
Yes, my first experience living in Germany, I was still a teenager, like 17, 16, 17, I would say. I was still like young, so it wasn't that much like to pick quickly rather than cold. But later when I grew up, that's when I realized, no, I think I don't like it to live in Germany. I prefer England, but I think maybe because of the language and the cold.
Fair
So
enough.
I didn't like it to live in Germany, but I loved it there for holidays.
Cool. And I like that you said you didn't like it because of the cold. We will talk about this now. You live in Sweden. And I have the feeling the cold is a little bit worse here than in Germany. But why did you move to
Believe me,
Sweden?
yes. Yes. Yes.
Why did
It's
you
worse here.
why did you move to Sweden?
Love.
Love.
Love. Love made me move to Sweden. And also there is a big life shift because I used to travel like a student. I used to travel like under working permits and just like work tasks, and I would know I travel to this country just to work for a certain time, or I travel to this country just to study, I travel to this country just to visit with the tourist exposure, and then it's done. But this time love moved me, and I know that I'm just in Sweden, I'm following this person, I might live here for quite some time, I have to build my family here. Yeah, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, love brought me here in the
Wow.
cold country.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. And so when you arrived in Sweden, what was your first impression of Sweden? And did you know anything before about Sweden? Maybe from your love, I guess, who maybe told you a little bit about Sweden. But yeah, what was your first impression?
Oh my. Actually, before I only learned about Sweden in school. And I only learned about Sweden just hearing from, Africa, we are a little bit more spiritual kind of a lifestyle. And in school, they could teach us about Sweden, but we learned about Sweden as a Christian country. So this is how I knew about Sweden, but I never think of Sweden like a country to go to or wanted to come. No, no, no. It was my first time when I started dating my husband. That's when I knew, oh, where are you from? I'm from Sweden. Oh, Sweden. I learned about Sweden in school. Are you a Christian? That was my first question. Yeah, but after I arrived here, I was quite impressed. A couple of things, really. I loved how people are friendly, but also reserved individuals, I might say. I also loved how nature friendly Sweden is. That really captured my attention, and I really loved it. How everywhere is green, whether it's summer, whatever the reason is, they are so good at keeping their environment, and all nature looks so beautiful. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And also the quality of life, I think. I love the quality of life here. And I'm even now more interested as I started to work here. I love how they have a balance of work life and individual life. It's impressive.
Cool. Yeah, that's very interesting to hear because I talk about these on my channel as well. And actually, I haven't announced it yet, but I also started to work a little bit in a Swedish company. So first time, yeah, I get to know a little bit the Swedish work culture. And I will talk about this more on my channel for sure. I literally just started yesterday, and I'm a freelancer, but yeah, I still joined the workforce now in Sweden, like from a company perspective, because I also have my own company and work for myself, and most of the time I sit here and work from home.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yes, I'm blessed to have a chance to work in a couple of companies and move around the world and have these beautiful work-life experiences. I would say compared to Sweden, I would say they have a very good work balance here. It's nice. It's very impressive for me. I like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now we come to the very interesting question. You hinted it a little bit earlier. So how do you cope with the cold and the dark in Sweden, coming from Tanzania and also having lived in many other countries? How do you do it? Like, how do you feel about it? The darkness and the cold in Sweden.
To be honest, I don't like a cold at all, at all. And surprisingly, my first time when I called my papa and to tell him, "Hey, Pops, I have a boyfriend." And, okay. Where is he from? And I say, "Sweden." "Oh, Sweden. Which part of Sweden?" And I say, "North." Believe me, the first thing he laughed.
I can
He laughed.
imagine.
He laughed because they know me. Whenever it was winter time, I would be home and full covered with jackets, and I would complain. My bones are hurting. At school, in uni, everyone knew me. I'm just when the semester is during the winter, for me it was a hell. So I used to find the time whenever during the winter time I could find excuses, whatever it is, I get out of the country. And once the winter is done, I would come back. Even in university, sometimes I could postpone a semester just because of the cold.
Wow. Okay.
So for me, right now in Sweden, like I say, love can move people. Love can change people. So I am forced to. This is my first year. It's not a year yet in Sweden. But at the moment, I'm absolutely putting all my things down, just bow to Sweden, go along with the cold. It's still very challenging for me. My husband laughs every day when it's winter for me. I'm in like in 10 clothes and my body. I have so many layers on my body. When it was summer, for me, it wasn't summer at all. I could just be surprised, like it's not even feeling like summer. So based on the weather part, I'm still juggling.
Yeah.
I'm still juggling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for you, I cannot even imagine because I obviously grew up in Germany and you already mentioned it's cold there as well.
Yes.
So we have also cold winters, maybe not as cold as in Sweden. And I think, again, I only live in like in the middle of Sweden, like in Stockholm, and you live in the north. Like, I think the
Yeah.
temperature is probably even colder there.
Yeah.
I think that the craziest I have experienced in Sweden was minus 14 degrees Celsius. Honestly, I've not really experienced that many times like that. For me, that was really cold.
Yeah.
But because I could go home and like have a nice and cozy thing waiting for me, I thought it was beautiful because you could see like little crystals in the air. I don't know if you
Yes.
know that, you probably have seen it. I thought it looked so magical. But yeah, it was
It
definitely
does.
cold and you cannot be outside for long, or at least I couldn't be long outside. So
Yeah.
it was nice to come home and just have a cozy, warm home, basically. But yeah,
Yeah.
it will be interesting how you find it in a few years for sure. For me, it's year three, and I'm still okay, but I can feel a little bit like the winters are a little bit too long. Like even in Germany, it starts a little bit earlier, spring,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
winters are a little bit too long. But yeah.
I
Yes.
held even in the north is even a little bit longer because I experienced the winter. I think in the north the winter is longer than the summer, and summer is like you guys from the south start to see summer and enjoy summer earlier than us. Nearly like 3 weeks, I think 2 to 3 weeks earlier than us.
Yeah, so it's even
Yeah.
even harder for you. But it's good to hear that you basically are still quite positive and think like you hopefully will find a way
Yes.
to
Yes.
enjoy the
So
winter
for
as much as the summer.
I try. I would say I always try. I'm that person who I like to appreciate life the way it is. So sometimes, yes, it can throw negative experience, even though I don't like cold. But even yesterday, I was talking to my husband and told him, "Oh, I kind of like miss winter actually." And everyone was surprised. But I just missed how it looks clean and looks white and the environment. Despite the cold part, it has its own beauty. So I try to look for the beauty thing that can make me move forward.
I love it. I love it. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing. My next question
Mm.
is, what does your daily life look like? Like, what do you do like on a daily basis? You said you're working a little bit, and yeah, what does it look like?
Wow.
Or every
My
day
day is
looks
a busy
different?
day. My day is a busy day, but I think it also comes with the personality, someone's personality. As for me, I'm a person who does a lot. Like I have a very busy hands. I have never sit down without doing something. So at the moment, I feel like it's been 9 months in Sweden, and I am still in the process of trying in a learning curve and trying to understanding nearly everything socially. And I'm still in the learning curve of fitting in the lifestyle that I have. So in my daily activities, I would wake up in the morning. I usually I'm not a more early morning person, but I wake up around 5 a.m., get ready, and go to work.
That is, yeah, that
Yes,
is really early.
because my shift starts at 7.
Mm-hmm.
And so I usually wake up around 5 a.m. By the time I finish and I start to drive to work is like 6.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 45 minutes to get to work. And then my shift usually 8 to 9 hours in a day. As soon as I come back home, I have a YouTube channel I take care of. I have a giving charity project that I manage. I have a side hustle thing online that I do. I have 2 volunteers that I manage back home as well. At home with my husband, we are currently renovating our house, so we are actually every day doing something. I'm learning. Oh, I better not say Swedish. Oh dear Lord, because it's so hard. Time to time, I'm in between of picking a few things of Swedish. Time to time, I'm with driving school books. So my day, honestly,
Wow.
is a rough day. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds super busy. Full-time job and then
Yes.
all these side things going on. Well done, you.
Yes. Yes.
Don't burn
Yes.
out.
No, the good thing is not like pressuring me. I have a balance of each activity that I do. If I feel like maybe I don't feel like doing this, and also I have like priority activities that I have to do in a day. There are other things sometimes I can do, sometimes I cannot. Like for example, Swedish language. Driving license at the moment is like on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Before anything else I do, I have to learn, I have to study. But other things, usually I tend to just skip, push tomorrow or later, whenever I can.
That's good.
It's not burning me out.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Good system.
Yes.
Um, yeah, you mentioned it a little bit, like your social life. Like, what do you think, or what is your experience so far in 9 months? Like, how easy or difficult is it to make friends and like build a social life in Sweden?
Hmm. Interesting question. Um, should I be honest or
Yeah, of course.
positive?
Be
Um,
super honest.
okay. To be honest, I think for me, it takes time to build someone you can say, that's my friend. It takes time. At least for me, I take a little bit time to call someone my friend. But I would say um, I'm grateful that I have a very good husband who helps me in this life transitioning. And he has introduced me to his friends, and his friends have become very good, I could say, close people I can socially hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
And I have managed to make 2 people I can say friends. They are my friends within 9 months. I'm able to say I have 2 friends. And I'm grateful to have people I can socially hang out with or chat with or do social activities with. So, and all this came along with a good guidance that I have from my husband, because I didn't hustle that I have to fit in this, I have to fit in this. He already knew that I'm a woman. I might need women thing. I might need friends. I might need to do something. I might need to do that. So he did a very good job to introduce me in his society and the community. So it's been good. It's been good. I'm grateful.
That's good to hear. So
Yes.
most of your friends and the people you got to know were through your husband, basically.
Yes, mostly. I might say mostly. Yes.
And maybe you know some people at work. I guess you get to know a little
Yeah.
bit. Work is
Yes.
probably also good
Yeah. Yeah.
to.
Definitely. I'm grateful because work relationship mostly we tended to have our work relationship at work and do our work there at work, but a few of them actually we have extended that work relationship friends, and even we take it out to the social life as well. So at work I build my own social connections, friends, and it's been nice. And from work, that's where I made one person that I created a friend, and another friend came from my husband's
Okay.
connection. Yes, but social wise, yes, it's been grateful. I have made a couple of them even from work. Actually, I'm grateful.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
very cool to hear. I think you seem also a person who's quite open to meet other people. So I guess there's a little bit of an aura there for people to get to
Oh,
know
thank
you.
you. Yeah, people say so too. So,
Cool. So I think two more questions.
okay.
So what would you advise people who come to Sweden or who want to come to Sweden? Like, what do they need to know to have, a good life here? Is there anything on a like what do they need to know in terms of bureaucracy or something, or is there anything you would advise them, if they want to come here, do they need to be open to certain things? Is there any advice you can give people who want to move to Sweden? Anything?
Yes. Yeah, I would have three things that I can point out. First advice is from people from, I would say, developing countries. And most people from developing countries would or tend to think the Western side or the Western countries are the blessed countries and everything is good. Everything is easy in life. So I would definitely take time to advise it is not true. It's not true. But also, in the eye of what you don't know, everything is beautiful. And the people will tell you Sweden is heaven, is a Christian country. Yes, it is true. When the Swedish people, honestly, if I am to say, I have experienced it, they are very kind people and also reserved people. And some people would take them for granted that they are kind and everything is good, but it's still, there is horror as well in Sweden, even though we have a mentality, it's a Christianity country, everyone is good, everything is nice. Yes, it is, but still take time to learn, read, listen to people who are doing interviews like this. Learn from people who are doing things like this in the country that you want to go to. And if it's Sweden, this is a beautiful channel like Uli's channel where she shares lots of Sweden, the good, the ugly. Listen to it and pay attention. And a second one, I would say, which I get from my channel, my YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
For women who are looking for love, And my advice is for women or even men who are looking for love or taking love as advantage of coming to Sweden, for example. You decide based on your own because you want to go to Sweden. Sweden has its own difficult life experiences as well. So, as you take someone for granted as a reason for you to come to the country and not for love, and you come here, the love is not there, and then you meet the experience of Sweden that it has, maybe it's not going along with your expectation. Then life is absolutely ups and down, and you feel like you are in a hell. So I would say if it's love and you met your loved one from whatever the platforms are, follow that person for the purpose of love. Because with love, you will be able to face whatever it is, whether it's cold, whether it's challenges of life. With love, with a true love, you will be able to move forward in life. And the last one, not everything on social media is true. Not everything in the social media is true. Everything you see on social media, remember the person set the camera and counted 1, 2, 3, action. They decided what they want to put in the social media. So whatever knowledge, whatever information you consume from the social media, let it not be the source to control you and everything. Be the one to make a decision on everything that you want to do based on the source of the information you got from the social media. Yeah, that's all.
Thanks for sharing. Thank you so much. And I want to talk a little bit about your channel because I appeared on your channel first. That's kind of how we met. You found me and you wanted to interview me. And your channel is also great because it really talks about stories of people, their own stories. And I think it's a beautiful idea behind your channel. So tell us a little bit more so people can also check out your YouTube channel.
Thank you. So I welcome you all. My channel is still young. We are nearly about 900 community of people. And in my channel, like I say, I'm new in Sweden. And when I moved to Sweden, my life definitely started from scratch. And when I say from scratch, like from what I just advised you, when you choose to follow someone for love, let it be love. And also, you are going to leave nearly everything that you knew in your life. So I thought of putting myself as an example, just to walk you through on things that I'm experiencing as I build my new life. When I moved to Sweden, everything started from scratch, from my career, my language, my social life, my culture, my everything. But I took it as a positive thing because I'm absolutely blessed to have a loving partner who is willing to teach me the whole journey of starting a new life, like a baby. I'm learning now to speak. I'm learning to eat new life. I'm learning to dress up different clothes. I'm learning to make friends. I'm learning to start going to work. Everything is learning. So as I left all of my life, I thought, it will be a good idea. I document these experiences and put them there. But it's more nicer also if I hear from other people, their life experiences. Like how I invited you the other day. I love listening to people. I enjoy to hear people's stories, what they have been up to. Because I believe through sharing, from these stories we watch on the YouTubes, on the social media, we learn from it. I'm in Sweden. You want to come to Sweden? Learn from me. You will get something from Sweden, or I can inspire you to make a decision in your life. But also, I created my YouTube channel to be a platform to put people together. And I love to create something that I gather people together. And I have a giving project where every year, the stories that I collect, I turn them into income. And then the income that I manage to get from those stories, we give back to Africa in Tanzania. We support little ones to have a better education, and so that someday they will be able to share their life experiences as well as I am doing now. And as I invite you to share yours as well. So I welcome you to join me, and let's
Wonderful.
grow together there.
Yeah. And so I will definitely link your YouTube channel in the description below. And also,
Thank
if you
you.
want to share your project, I will also leave a link where people can check out your project. And if they want to donate and be part of it, then they can choose to do that as well.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on my channel.
I'm grateful, Uli. I'm grateful. Thank you.
And I wish you all the best.
And you too in the south of Sweden. Thank you. And I hope we will catch up physically one day.
That would be lovely. I look forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day, Uli.